Vox Ariana, where we bring you quotes, insights, news, and inspiration for your journey. Tune in for our short stories and uplifting audio pieces, written by JP Milesi. Stay inspired, stay empowered.
Those who oppose LGBTQ rights claim children should not be exposed to LGBTQ identities, yet they assume all children are straight from birth. Heterosexuality is reinforced through media, traditions, and social norms without question, while any LGBTQ visibility is censored. This contradiction harms LGBTQ children, making them feel invisible, abnormal, or wrong. By denying them the same freedom to explore and express their identity, they are forced into silence and fear. True protection means allowing all children, LGBTQ or not, to grow up with self-acceptance, not subjecting some to shame while granting others unquestioned validation. Those in power know that confident, ambitious LGBTQ individuals threaten their control, so they target the next generation. By erasing rights, restricting representation, and fostering fear, they aim to break young people before they can rise. This is not just about oppression, it's a deliberate strategy to force LGBTQ youth back into silence, just as past generations were kept from thriving. But we cannot let history repeat itself. We must protect and empower the next generation, ensuring they grow up with dignity, ambition, and the freedom to lead. The fight is now, and every effort counts. Stand up, speak out, and defend their future. Those in power maintain control by instilling fear and trauma in marginalized groups from an early age. When individuals grow up with confidence and ambition, they challenge the existing order, making them a threat. To prevent this, society imposes discrimination, erases representation, and restricts rights, ensuring that LGBTQ people remain sidelined. By breaking their spirit early, the system aims to keep them from rising to leadership. However, this strategy is failing. Many have already broken free from fear and are fighting back. The push for equality continues, proving that no amount of oppression can suppress the drive for change.
Be proud. Be you. Hey there, amazing kids. You are special, unique, and exactly who you're meant to be. Whether you're figuring out who you are or already know, remember this. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, just as you are. For transgender kids, non-binary kids, and everyone exploring their identity, you belong. Never feel like you have to hide or change to fit in. Your true self is your greatest strength. Stand tall, speak your truth, and always be kind to yourself and to others, because the world needs you just as you are. This is a public announcement from Vox Ariana. To every transgender kid out there, you are valid, you are worthy, and you are deeply loved, exactly as you are. Your identity is not something to hide, it's something to celebrate. The strength it takes to be your authentic self is extraordinary, and it inspires more people than you know. To the families walking this path with love and openness, you are the pillars that help your child thrive. Your support is the greatest gift you can give, showing them that they are never alone in this journey. Together, let's create a world where every transgender child feels safe, seen, and empowered to dream without limits. Because everyone deserves a future filled with respect, kindness, and endless possibilities.
Brothers, sisters, siblings. Your voice can be their shield. Having a non-binary or transgender sibling means more than just sharing a family. It means sharing strength, love, and the power to stand up when the world tries to tear them down. In a world that often refuses to see them, you can be the one who makes them feel seen. In spaces where they are silenced, your voice can speak louder. And when society builds walls, you can be the bridge that keeps love and acceptance flowing. No government, no law, no ignorance can erase who they are, but your support can make sure they never feel alone in the fight to be respected. Stand up, speak out, protect them, because being family means showing up, especially when it matters most. This message is brought to you by Vox Ariana, amplifying voices for equality and inclusion. Neighbors, it takes a village. Stand with transgender and non-binary kids. Being a good neighbor isn't just about waving hello or lending a hand. It's about creating a community where every child feels safe, valued, and respected, no matter who they are. Transgender and non-binary children deserve more than tolerance. They deserve acceptance, kindness, and a neighborhood that sees their worth, especially when governments and systems try to erase them. Your words matter. Your actions matter. When you speak up against prejudice, when you show empathy and respect, you help build a world where these kids can thrive, not just survive. Don't stand by in silence. Be the neighbor who stands for love, inclusion, and dignity, because it takes all of us to create a truly safe community. This message is brought to you by Vox Ariana, amplifying voices for equality and inclusion.
Educators, stand for what's right, not just what's allowed. In every classroom, a child's right to exist, be seen, and be respected should never be up for debate. As teachers, you hold the power to shape minds and protect the most vulnerable, including non-binary and transgender students who are too often silenced by systems that refuse to see them. Governments may choose ignorance. Policies may push prejudice. But you are the voice that echoes in the hearts of your students. Choose empathy over exclusion. Choose courage over compliance. Demand dignity. Demand respect. Because every child deserves to feel safe, valued, and free to be themselves, no matter who tries to say otherwise. Education is about truth. Let's teach it with pride. This message is brought to you by Vox Ariana, amplifying voices for equality and inclusion. To every non-binary and transgender teenager, you're stronger than you know, and you are not alone. I'm building this radio, Vox Ariana, in the quiet spaces between heartbreak and hope. As I sit by my father's side, watching him slowly fade, I carry the weight of loss while holding onto the fire of purpose. And through all of it, I'm thinking of you, because I know what it feels like to carry pain in silence, to feel invisible in a world that tries to erase you. But I also know this, your existence is a rebellion, a masterpiece, a light in the darkness. Even when the world feels overwhelming, even when it feels like you're screaming into the void, you matter. You deserve to be heard, to be seen, to be loved without conditions or apologies. I'm here, building this platform, fighting through my own grief, because you deserve a voice that never wavers. You deserve a space where your truth is not just accepted, but celebrated. You are not a problem to be fixed. You are a force to be reckoned with. And even in my hardest moments, I'm still here for you. This message is brought to you by Vox Ariana, amplifying voices for equality and inclusion. To every child and teen in Christian families struggling to come out, you are not alone. Your identity is not a mistake, and your truth is not a sin. You are created with purpose, love, and infinite worth, exactly as you are. No belief, no doctrine, and no fear should ever silence who you truly are inside. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to question. But know this, you deserve love without conditions. You deserve to be seen, valued, and celebrated for your authentic self. If your family's faith makes it hard for them to fully embrace you right now, hold on. There are people, communities, and allies who will stand by you, support you, and fight for your right to live openly and proudly. You are part of a greater family that transcends walls, dogma, and judgment. You are brave. You are worthy. And you are deeply, deeply loved. Don't let silence steal your story. Speak when you can. Reach out when you're ready. There is hope. There is healing. And there is a future waiting for you, one where you can live freely and fully, exactly as you are. This is a public announcement by Vox Ariana.
To every transgender child, never let anyone silence your truth. You are powerful, unique, and a vital part of this world. Your existence challenges fear with courage and transforms ignorance with love. You deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated, not hidden away. To the parents who stand beside their children with unconditional love, you are the guardians of hope. In a world that sometimes tries to erase or ignore your child's identity, your love becomes their shield. It takes strength to stand against systems that seek to diminish your child's light, but your courage is shaping a more compassionate future. And to those in positions of power who push laws, policies, and narratives that aim to erase transgender lives, history will remember where you stood. Silencing children, erasing identities, and denying families the right to love openly is not leadership. It is fear masquerading as authority. We demand better. Visibility is power. Love is resistance. And no law, policy, or prejudice can erase the truth of who these children are. The future belongs to them, and it's brighter because of it.
To every LGBTQ plus kid, and especially to every transgender child, you are beautiful. You are strong. You are enough, exactly as you are. Your identity is not something to hide or question. It's something to embrace and celebrate. In a world that sometimes tries to make you feel small or invisible, remember this: you matter. Your voice matters. Your dreams matter. You are part of a powerful community that stands for love, authenticity, and freedom. And you are never alone. To families, your love and support are the greatest acts of courage. Standing with your child sends a message that echoes far beyond your home, that love is unconditional and everyone deserves to live fully and freely. Now is the time to rise together. Speak out. Show up. Be loud about love, equality, and acceptance. Whether it's in your schools, your communities, or simply within your circle of friends, every act of kindness, every truth spoken, and every hand held makes a difference. The world needs your light. Shine it unapologetically, because you are the future, and the future is bright, diverse, and unstoppable.
Argentina, when rights are silenced, it's up to us to speak louder. The dismantling of the Human Rights Department in Argentina isn't just a bureaucratic change, it's a direct threat to justice, equality, and the safety of those who have been silenced for too long. When governments erase protections, it's not neutrality, it's neglect. And in that neglect, lives are put at risk. But history has shown us, when systems fail, the people rise. This is the moment to stand shoulder to shoulder, for the transgender teen terrified to walk to school, for the non-binary worker denied basic respect, for every voice that now echoes without the protection it deserves. Human rights don't vanish because an office closes. They live in us, in our courage, in our defiance, in our refusal to stay silent. Raise your voice. Demand accountability. Show the world that Argentina will not back down in the face of injustice. Because when governments erase rights, the people must write them back into history. This message is brought to you by Vox Ariana, amplifying voices for equality and inclusion.
To every non-binary and transgender teenager, you are not alone. You are powerful. In a world that sometimes feels heavy with judgment and silence, know this: you are seen, you are real, and you are worthy of every ounce of love and respect. There will be days when it feels like the world is too loud with hate and too quiet with kindness. Days when you wonder if anyone truly understands. But you are the future, vibrant, courageous, unstoppable. You are writing stories that generations before you could only dream of. You are not broken. You are not a burden. You are a beacon. Find your voice, even if it shakes. Love yourself fiercely, even when the world tries to make it hard. And remember, there is a growing army of people who stand with you, who fight for you, because you deserve a world that celebrates you exactly as you are. When it feels dark, reach out. When you feel invisible, know that you are part of something bigger, a movement, a community, a family that refuses to let you fall. You are strength. You are light. You are enough. Always. This message is brought to you by Vox Ariana, amplifying voices for equality and inclusion. Hello to the brave and beautiful youth within the Mormon community. You may have been told that loving someone of the same sex or expressing who you truly are is something shameful or even comparable to the worst of wrongs. But let me be clear, this is not true. Your feelings, your identity, and your love are valid. They are not sins. They are not mistakes. They are a part of who you are, deep, beautiful, and worthy of respect. No one should ever make you feel ashamed for loving someone or for simply being yourself. Teachings that compare love between two people of the same sex to something as dark as murder are deeply harmful and dangerously false. These ideas create fear, shame, and isolation, when what you really deserve is understanding, compassion, and acceptance. You are not broken. You are not wrong. You are enough. If you're feeling alone, scared, or trapped between faith and identity, know this. There is a whole world of people who see you, love you, and support you. There is strength in your truth. There is courage in being yourself. And there is hope beyond fear. Reach out. Speak up. You are not alone. You have the right to live freely, love openly, and walk through life knowing you are worthy of kindness and happiness, just as you are. This is a public announcement from Vox Ariana. Stand tall, speak your truth, and never forget, you deserve love.
When children grow up in environments where their gender identity is not respected, they learn early on that who they are is not accepted by society. This constant invalidation creates deep psychological trauma, instilling fear, self-doubt, and a sense of unworthiness. Instead of growing with confidence and ambition, many LGBTQ+ youth internalize this rejection, leading to anxiety, depression, and a reluctance to take up space in the world. As these children become adults, the fear they were conditioned to feel does not simply disappear. It shapes their aspirations, limiting their willingness to pursue leadership roles, enter politics, or fight for systemic change. They have been taught that stepping forward invites hostility, discrimination, and even violence. As a result, many choose survival over visibility, leaving positions of power to those who uphold the very systems that once oppressed them. This cycle is not accidental. It is part of a broader social mechanism that maintains inequality. The backlash against LGBTQ+ rights is not just about laws and policies. It is about ensuring that queer people remain afraid to challenge the status quo. The idea of a gay president, a trans senator, or a non-binary Supreme Court justice terrifies those who have built their power on exclusion. They fear that if LGBTQ+ individuals step into leadership, they will dismantle the very structures that once tried to erase them. By keeping queer people afraid from childhood, society limits their potential and ensures that power remains in the hands of those who benefit from discrimination. Breaking this cycle requires not just legal protections but a cultural shift, one that affirms children's identities, fosters their confidence, and teaches them that they have the right to lead. Only then can we move toward a world where fear no longer dictates who holds power.
Let's talk about empowerment. Because, apparently, in this golden age of social media, fake news, and spray-tanned political disasters, we still need to remind LGBTQ youth that they exist, they're valid, and they're beautiful, despite the best efforts of certain orange-tinted individuals who think civil rights are a seasonal trend, like pumpkin spice lattes. Yes, I'm talking about Donald Trump, the man who once held a rainbow flag upside down like it was some ancient artifact he found buried under a golf course. The same guy who, during his presidency, treated LGBTQ rights like an annoying side quest in a video game he didn't want to play. Remember when he tweeted about being a friend to the community? And then, plot twist, immediately rolled back protections, banned transgender people from serving in the military, and sat there like, what? I'm not homophobic. I let Elton John play at my wedding. But let's not get lost in the tragic comedy of it all. This isn't just about one man's inability to pronounce LGBTQ without sounding like he's reading it for the first time. It's about the generations of LGBTQ youth who watched in real time as policies were written to erase them by people who can barely operate an iPhone without help. So, to the young queers scrolling through this while dodging Facebook comments from that one high school acquaintance who thinks Tucker Carlson is a philosopher, you are the future. And the future isn't going to be built by people who think diversity is adding one gay cousin to a sitcom. It's going to be built by you, loud, resilient, sarcastic as hell, and ready to dismantle systems that treat your existence like a political opinion. When Trump and his minions try to frame basic human rights as radical leftist agendas, laugh. When they say you're too loud, crank up the volume. Because the greatest threat to people like him? A generation that refuses to shrink for anyone's fragile ego. So go ahead, be unapologetic, be bold. And if you ever need motivation, just remember, somewhere out there, Donald Trump is still probably wondering if the Q in LGBTQ stands for quiet.
Listen up, fabulous humans of the LGBTQ community, especially you, my brilliant, unstoppable transgender warriors. I need you to grab a mirror, look deep into it and say, I am not here to be anyone's background character. Because guess what? You're the main event, the headliner, the glitter explosion in a world that still thinks beige is a personality. Now I know what you're told. Ignore the haters. Be the bigger person. Take the high road. Oh honey, please. If I wanted the high road, I'd be a mountain goat. But here's the thing. Sometimes the haters need a little reminder that you're not here to be silent, invisible, or worse, polite in the face of nonsense. Because silence, it's overrated. And quite frankly, it's exhausting pretending you don't hear that one relative at family dinner whispering, it's just a phase. You have every right to clap back. No, I'm not talking about going full keyboard warrior and turning Thanksgiving into a UFC match, but a well-placed sarcastic, wow, Karen revolutionary thought process. Did you come up with that all by yourself? Can be chef's kiss. See, defending yourself isn't about throwing grenades. It's about tossing glitter bombs of truth that stick. To every transgender kid out there who's been told to just be quiet and blend in, you were not born to be wallpaper. You are the entire mural. You think Picasso sat there wondering if people thought his art was too much? No, he went full-on weird and made history. So wear that neon eyeliner, strut in those boots that scream, I'm the moment. And when someone throws shade, remind them you are the sun. And for the folks who say, why do you have to make it all about being LGBTQ? I don't know, Brenda. Why do you make it all about your gluten-free muffins at every office meeting? People love to act like visibility is an attack on their fragile little eyeballs. It's not. It's existence. It's survival. And sorry not sorry, it's fabulous. So, don't just survive. Don't just ignore it. Respond. Laugh. Push back. Live so loudly that the haters need earplugs. Because in a world that wants to put you on mute, your voice is your power. Use it. Mic drop.